Problem 3. An aquarium is designing a new exhibit to showcase tropical fish. The exhibit will include a tank that is a rectangular prism. The length is twice the width, and the volume is 420 cubic feet. What is the width of the tank to the nearest tenth of a foot? Alright, well, you're going to need some type of calculator that does the square root for this problem. Alright, so get one ready. And let's type a couple of things that we know. They told us that the length is twice that of the width, so 2W. And they also told us that the volume is 420 cubic feet. From probably 7th grade, you should remember that volume equals length, width, and height, all multiplied together. So let's replace. Volume is 420. Length is, let's take a look, length is 2W, it said. W, well, W is W. Now what about the height? Look at your picture. The height, if we look carefully, the height is labeled as being 3 tall. Alright, we're going to multiply all of these items together. So we get 420 equals 6W squared. Now we go to our steps from the top of this page and we isolate W squared by dividing by 6. 420 divided by 6 is 70. That equals W squared. Take the square root. Now, that's a decimal, so since we're working in real life, it says to the nearest tenth. We're going to get our calculator. We're going to take the square root of 70, and it's about 8.4 when we round to the nearest tenth. So we'll write W equals 8.4 feet. And that's the width. If they asked for the length, you'd have to plug that back in. Okay, let's keep going. Almost done. 3A. Suppose the tank in problem 3 will have a height of 4 and a volume of 500. What's the width to the nearest tenth? Let's do 3A before we even look at 3B. So we know volume equals length, width, and height. They're telling us the volume is 500. We're going to pretend like the width is, or the length is still 2W. Okay, they're not changing anything else. So we're going to say the length is twice the width. The width is the width. And the height they're telling us is now changing to 4. Multiply all those together. 500 equals 8W squared. Divide by 8. 500 divided by 8 is 62.5. That equals W squared. Take the square root. Okay, ready? The square root of 62.5 is 7.9, rounded to the nearest tenth. Now you might be asking, why aren't you using plus and minus, Mrs. Langeli? Okay, well, you can't have a negative width, okay? It's not in a black hole, okay? It's a regular old foot. So we have to use the positive answer when we deal with lengths and widths. So we're going to say the width is 7.9 feet. And that was for part A. Part B. What are the disadvantages of using a graph to approximate the solution to problem 3? Well, what do you think? How easy would it be for you to use a graph, set it equal to 0, and solve, and find your vertex? So there should probably be a couple of problems for you. It would be very difficult to graph. Okay? The numbers would be really big. Not only that, but it would be very hard to approximate 7.9. How are you going to know it's 7.9 and not 7.8 or 7.7 or 7.6? Okay? So, and we talked about that earlier, how using algebra is a lot easier sometimes than actually doing the graphing itself. If you have any questions, do a couple of these lesson checks, and if you have any extra things you want to ask about tomorrow, please feel free to do so.